Hi, my name is Michael Dubin, and I'm here with my dear friend Neil Sawson, who I've known since 1985, where we met at the Sheridan Universal for a Percussive Arts Society convention with our teacher Freddie Gruber. Neil goes back to 1969 with Freddie Gruber, and in my opinion, Neil is one of the, if not the most important drum teachers teaching today. He has extensive knowledge in what Freddie Gruber handed down to us, and he's also got his own take on the information as well. So today, without further ado, I present to you Neil Sawson, who's also available for drum lessons, so you can contact us through this YouTube channel if you'd like to further your studies. Okay, Neil, take it away.
Thank you, Mike. Hello, good evening. As my esteemed colleague Mike Dubin just stated, my name is Neil Sawson. I'm a longtime Freddie Gruber student, and the purpose of this afternoon's video is it's more or less of a continuation from the previous two Freddie Gruber technique videos that I posted on YouTube, which are available on YouTube for your perusal. Those two videos dealt with the beginnings of wrist development, as Freddie taught the development of the wrist to me. The purpose of today's video is to take it to the next step and talk about the fingers, and that is exactly what I aim to do. Will show you what Freddie showed me, the way he showed it to me, the development of the fingers. This will be, and it should be noted, this is the finger control technique for the traditional grip, the left-hand traditional grip. For all of those, for all of you out there who want to work on the match grip finger technique, if you will just follow the recommendations that I give for the right hand finger technique and apply that to the left hand, clone the left hand to the right hand, you'll have the right idea for developing good finger technique with the match grip. Okay, but today's video will deal with the left hand traditional grip or conventional grip. The book that we used, that Freddie used with me for the development of the wrists and the fingers, and the arms for that matter, was this book right here, the seminal work by Roy Burns and Louis Malin, Practical Method of Developing Finger Control. If you don't already have this book, I strongly suggest you go out and get it. This particular edition is Bell & Mills. I don't know who's publishing it now, but it should be available in any good drum store or music store or online. The Burns Malin Finger Control book. That's the book I will be referencing many times today. Okay, to start with, there are some preparatory exercises I'd like to show you that Freddie showed me. The first of these exercises, after many months of working on the fulcrum wrist bounce studies in this book, we got into the finger control section of the book, and some of the first exercises he showed me is what he called the kick finger exercise. Freddie called these the kick finger exercises, and now so do I. So the first kick finger exercise, and this is a left hand traditional grip exercise, you start with a hand and stick in the up position, and I'm going to just relax the hand and allow the stick to drop to the pad and bounce itself out. After it comes to a rest, I'm going to kick the stick back up into the up position using the third and fourth fingers, the ring finger and the pinky. I'm going to kick the stick up, and the concept is I'm more or less kicking the two fingers and the stick up into the grip, like I'm trying to kick into the grip, and I'm turning the hand up from the grip. Very important. So here's the exercise. Start position, it bounces out, kick, bounce, kick, bounce. Try to keep the third and fourth fingers under the stick at all times, especially on the kick. This is the A exercise, first in a series of 4 kick finger exercises I'm going to show you. It bounces out, kick up into the grip. At the same time, the hand makes a perfect turn up. Let the hand drop, relax the muscles, relax the fingers, kick up. It's very important that the wrist muscles and the muscles in the hand and the grip are relaxed, and then kick into a full wrist turn. I'll do it a few more times. Bounce, kick, bounce, kick up, bounce, kick up. There's a variation to this exercise. You can do it's the same exercise, except I don't turn the wrist. It goes like this, bounce, and just kick, but I keep the hand and stick down. Bounce, kick. No wrist turn. Bounce, kick, bounce, kick up. This strengthens the ligaments in the third and fourth fingers. The importance of the kick fingers is the fact that these two fingers will act as a brake. It's just as important to be able to stop the bounce as to start the bounce. So we use the kick fingers as like a clutch or brake to stop the finger bounce at any given point in the phrase. Okay, the B exercise is called the kick da dums. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's a da dum, which is basically a dotted eighth and 16th note rhythm. 2. This is the B exercise. Da dum, and I kick up on the dum on the 16th note. 1 on the count. I'm sorry, on the count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick, kick, kick into a wrist turn with the third and fourth fingers on 1, 2, 3, and 4. If the stick gets out of alignment, don't be frustrated. It even happens to me once in a while still. Just kick up on the dum, da dum, da dum, da kick, da kick. Again, I'm kicking into the grip, and at the same time, I'm making a full wrist turn up to the up or start position. Like the previous exercise, you can do this without turning the wrist, and that goes thusly. Da kick, da 1, 2, 3, 4, and lead 1. Kick, kick up without turning the wrist. Kick into the grip with the third and fourth fingers working in sync with each other. Okay. Then the next exercise Freddie taught me to strengthen the kick fingers is consecutive da-dums, where I'm basically playing a shuffle rhythm, kicking up on the count. Start in the up position, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, don't be discouraged or frustrated if the stick slips out of the fingers. It's perfectly normal, and you just, with a little practice, you'll gain the control to kick up perfectly every time. Now, notice I'm kicking up right on the count, right on the number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick, kick, kick into a wrist turn. Don't lag. Kick right on the count. Okay, those are the kick finger exercises, and I recommend don't make a crusade out of this. You don't have to make a big deal out of this. Maybe a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes each position, or until you feel tension or tiredness or a little discomfort in the fingers. If and when, and you will feel them at first while you're developing the tendons and ligaments in the fingers, there is a tendency to feel some discomfort. At that point, stop immediately, shake the fingers out, massage them with the opposite hand, wait a few minutes, and then do the exercise again, jump back in again. And with practice, little by little, as with any other form of muscular development, that the pain discomfort will dissipate in time. Okay, those are the kick finger exercises. Now, the actual finger exercise. Oh, by the way, before I start the left hand and right hand finger exercises, there was an exercise called a squeeze release that Freddie gave me for the right hand. That again, you start the right hand and stick in the up position. Let the stick drop to the pad, bounce itself out, and then squeeze up into a full wrist stroke. Press the second, third, and fourth fingers against the stick, and you're pressing the butt end of the stick into the groove of the palm, next to the fatty part of the palm. So it bounces out, squeeze up. Fingers open down slightly, close up. And in that closing, you will be squeezing the stick or pressing the stick into the palm of the hand gently. Again, no tension is to be experienced in any way. Just relax up, squeeze up, bounce, squeeze, bounce, squeeze. It's just basically this. And then you can do the next exercise that he had me do was the da-dum, but squeezing up. Dum, da-dum, da-dum, up, squeeze, squeeze. This is to stop the finger bounce in the right hand at any given point in the phrase. Okay, so now you have the squeeze, release exercise for the right hand and the kick finger exercises for the traditional grip left hand. The finger bounce. When Freddie first decided I was ready to start the finger control portion of this book, and for our purposes, when I say finger control portion of the book, or the finger bounce portion of the book, I'm referring to pages 14, 15, 16, and 17. 14 and 15 are eighth note studies, 16 are eighth note triplets, page 17 is our 16th note studies. Okay, so pages 14 through 17. The preparatory exercise he gave me was very simple. It was left hand traditional grip, third and fourth fingers closed, and if I had a tendency to open the fingers during the exercise, he would have me wrap a rubber band around the third and fourth fingers and the back of the hand to keep the fingers closed until I gained the control to keep them closed without the rubber band. Second finger off the stick, I was to think triplets, and I was to bounce the stick as bouncing a basketball, as dribbling a basketball with the index finger alone. And the motion or the action I am using is the knuckle joint. I'm tapping the stick or bouncing the stick from the knuckle at the base of the finger. The second joint is relaxed, as is the first joint, and the index finger is curled slightly around the top of the stick. Here's the exercise. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the... That's all it is. You can see the wrist is still. I'm dribbling the tip of the stick as though it were a basketball. That's the feel. Or bouncing a ball on a trampoline. The second finger is off the stick. The third and fourth fingers are closed, pressed lightly against the palm of the hand. And I just sustain this eighth note triplet finger bounce for a couple of minutes until I loosen up the ligaments in the finger. Now what I did, and Freddie okayed this, was I would do the exercise using both fingers. Because I knew eventually I would be bouncing the stick with the first and second finger. So I wanted to get the second finger into the act as soon as possible. So here's the exercise, using the first and second finger, bouncing the stick in unison. First and second finger work together as one unit. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, 3, 4. See that? Feel that, eh? Okay, now, over the years, I took this exercise and I kind of expanded upon it. What I would do when I started really getting to the meat of the finger control studies was I wanted to really exercise the first and second finger before actually starting the patterns in the book. So what I would do is I devised a 16-minute routine, 16-minute warm-up exercise for the fingers, utilizing both left and right hand traditional grip. I'm thinking eighth note triplets. This whole exercise is just eighth note triplets. And I'm doing 1 minute per hand, 60 seconds per hand. The first step, or the first position, is bouncing the stick with just the index finger. The second finger is completely off the stick. The third and fourth fingers are closed. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and the 2 and the 3. As you can see, I'm trampolining the stick with just the index finger, as Freddie originally showed me. Then after 60 seconds of this, without stopping, I would do 60 seconds of a finger bounce in the right hand. And that is utilizing the second, third, and fourth finger. And just pushing up against the stick, no wrist motion. The fulcrum, the grip, the first finger and the thumb are still. The fulcrum, as I'm feeling it, is over the second finger. The long bone between the first and second joint. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Just this for 1 minute. Then after 60 seconds, I usually use a clock, and I'd have the clock in front of me and I would time myself 60 seconds per hand. Then back to the left hand traditional grip. Same thing, only this time I'm bouncing with just the middle finger, the second finger. First finger is off the stick, and I'm bouncing the stick. Eighth note triplets again. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and this whole exercise is eighth note triplets. 60 seconds, just the second finger bouncing the stick. After 60 seconds of this, another minute of right hand finger bounces. This procedure is a twofold procedure. It lets the left hand rest, relax for a minute. It also allows the right hand to warm up as well as the left hand. So after 60 seconds of the right hand finger bounce, then I would continue with the triplets. One measure with the first finger, continuing with one measure of the second finger, back to the first finger for one measure, second finger, etc., like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second, 2, 3, 4. First finger, 2, 3, 4. Second finger, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2. One measure per finger. 60 seconds of that, and then 60 seconds of the right hand again. Then the next step for the left hand, 2 beats, 1 and 2 and Lee with the index finger, 3 and 4 and Lee with the second finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. First finger, second finger, first, second, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 for 1 minute. Then a minute of right hand finger bounce. Then 1 quarter note per finger, 3 taps with the first finger, 3 with the second. 1, 2, 3, 4. First, second, first finger, second finger. Okay. After 60 seconds, more or less, of this, right hand, 1 minute finger bounce. Then 2 taps per finger, 2 taps in an eighth note triplet rhythm. So you're actually changing on the half note triplet. You change on 1, the and of 2, the of 3. 1, 1, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 2 taps per finger. And don't be discouraged if one finger is louder than the other. The second finger usually has a little more meat to it, so it might be a slight accent. Just get it so where the sound is even. 1 and Lee, 2 and Lee, 3 and Lee, 4 and Lee, 1, etc. Then right hand for 1 minute. Then the next step would be 1 tap per finger, 1 eighth note per finger, eighth note triplet rhythm. 1 and Lee, 2 and Lee, 3 and Lee, 4 and Lee. See how that's working? Okay, so it's this action here in the triplet framework. All right, then 1 minute right hand finger bounce. Then the final step is both hands in unison. Both fingers in unison in the left hand. Both fingers bouncing the stick simultaneously. Do that for a minute. Follow up with a final minute from the right hand, and that should take about 16 minutes. Then your fingers should be well oiled by this time, well warmed up, ready to start the exercise in the book. I'm going to move rather quickly now. I'm going to run pages 14 through 17 down for you. I'm going to do each page in its entirety. I'll do 2 to 4 repetitions per line. So just so you have some idea of what I'm doing when I'm doing it. These are Freddie's notes, by the way. This is Mike Lubin's copy of the finger control book. He was gracious enough to loan us this book for this purposes of this demonstration. I use a metronome, and I would recommend using a metronome when practicing these exercises. 2 reasons. It will give you an accurate gauging of how you're progressing speed-wise, and it will help to keep you in perfect tempo. Pages 14 and 15 are eighth notes. Page 14 are eighth notes with rests, and I usually do this at quarter note 200. So I'm going to set the metronome to quarter note 200. Almost there. There we go. That's 200. Lower the volume a little bit. I'll play 2 to 4 repetitions of each line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines on page 14. Starting with 2 eighth notes per hand and ending with 13 notes per hand. Start in the up position. The tips of the sticks are lined up, and it's in 2/4, so I'm counting 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Note the kick finger in the left hand. I'm bouncing on the second note. I'm kicking on the second note, bouncing up. Kick, twist, squeeze, kick, squeeze, kick. Okay, it's line 2, 3/8 notes. 2/8 notes on the quarter. Kick up or squeeze up. One more time. Next line is 3/4, 4/8 notes per hand. 1 and 2, empty, 1 and 2, empty, 1 and 2, empty, empty. Next line. Line 4. Next line. Next. Kick. Squeeze. Kick. Next line. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2. Next line. Last line. That's page 14. Page 15, continuous 8th notes, no rest this time. There's 7 lines on this page, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 2 lines I play as one phrase, as a 4-measure phrase. It's 2 2-measure phrases combined, starting with doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 3. Note the fingers in the left hand working together. Next line. Next line. Next line. Last line. The last line was 2 measures per hand. So that's how I would practice these 2 pages. And when I'd be practicing, I would practice these lines 5 minutes each line. 5 minutes each line. And that would really go a long ways to developing my finger technique. When I was younger and I had the patience and the stamina to spend 5 minutes on each line. Then the next page will be 8th note triplets, and I'll reset the metronome. I'm going to do this at quarter note 128. Let me just reset the sound here. Okay, I'm going to slow down the metronome to 128, quarter note 128, and I'll show you how the page of 8th note triplets is practiced. This is page 16. 8th note triplets. Top line, 3 taps per finger. Kick, squeeze, kick, squeeze, kick, squeeze, kick, squeeze. I just turn the hand once, and from that first wrist turn, the fingers take over and bounce the stick until I kick or squeeze up. Second line. One more time. Third line. Next. Next slide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1 and lead 2 and lead 3 and lead 4 and lead left and lead 2 and lead 3 and lead 4. Right and lead 2 and lead 3 and lead 4 and lead left. Measure and a half. Last line. See what's happening here? And that's the page for the 8th note triplets. Now for the 16th notes, I slow the tempo down somewhat. I want a nice relaxed tempo that allows the stick to bounce, float in my hand. It does not produce a lot of stress or tension. I want a tempo where I can produce a nice, clear, clean sound, an articulate sound with perfect phrasing. And then little by little, I will increase the tempos over a period of time. You will be able to increase the tempo as your technique improves. Let me reset. All right. Sorry about that. The 16th notes, I generally do at about 100, quarter note 100. Maybe 104, depends on how I'm feeling on any given day. These are just suggested tempos. You can practice these at slower or faster tempos depending on your technique. Okay, here's 100. Sorry. Oh, that's correct. 100, here we go. Top line, 4 taps per finger, 16th notes. Next line. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and. Next line. Next line. Next line. Next line. Last line. And that is pages 14 through 17 using the finger bounce. Like I say, you can do any tempo that's comfortable for you. You want a tempo that's fast enough so the stick floats in the hand. You don't want it too slow because the stick won't bounce You don't want it too fast where you're going to be tense and you're going to have a sloppy sound. You don't want to get tense in the muscles. You want, as far as duration, you can practice these patterns, these studies, anywhere from 1 minute per line to 5 minutes like I used to do, or longer. It depends on each individual. And that's pretty much it. So just to recap, I'm using traditional grip. Match grip, of course, would be, line 1 would be the right hand and the left hand work exactly the same. Squeezing up. Now I prefer the German style because that's the way Freddie showed me. The German style being knuckles or back of the hand on top, stick, palm facing the floor, and you get the full range of motion. You have the acoustic shell is intact, and the stick stays inside the chop, inside the hand. So pretty much we went through this book. I went through this book basically cover to cover, every page, 2 ways. The first time through we did the book traditional grip with a little bit of emphasis on the match grip. Then a couple of years later we went back to the book, maybe 3 or 4 years later after finishing it the first time, and I went through the whole book with Freddie every week, him checking my progress, match grip. We went through it a third way, maybe halfway, and that was kind of a review for both grips. So basically I went through this book almost 3 times, cover to cover, over a course of 15 to 20 years. So that's basically my approach to the traditional grip method, the way Freddie showed it to me. Just the way I demonstrated it to you just now was the way Freddie had me do it. And it's worked for me all these years, and I hope if you don't have a finger control technique yet, or you haven't really gotten into one and you're looking around exploring different methods, please consider this one. It's not the only method out there of finger control, of course. I would never say that or think that, but it is one way that does work, and this approach works. That's all I can say. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments section of this YouTube video. Thank you very much, and I will be doing other videos, posting other videos with some variations, more advanced techniques of finger control in the near future. Thank you, and good afternoon.